So not too long ago on one of my, actually I think it's in one of my videos, I think it's in the September Goodwill pickups video, I managed to find this Wavebird controller. It had its receiver with it. It was only $5. Those of you who are into retro gaming and you know these go for quite a bit, even in crap condition, they can go for 30 upwards, on up to 40, $50, depending on what retro store you go to. So for $5, I was like, hell yes, I'll take it. So the problem, and the stick was gone, so I ordered a new stick. I got it from Stone Age Gamer. I'm not too fond of these, but as you can see, the joystick is wasted. It shouldn't move like that. It should just be nice and stiff until you move it. So I looked around on the line for a while, and I finally found a place that had suitable replacements for these. A lot of people let these go. They're like, well, it doesn't, my game still plays. Well, yeah, but if you got that much slop, that's how much slop you're losing in the potentiometers. So you're not getting full range of motion out of the controller. So I looked around the line for a while, and I finally come across a site that had a suitable replacement. So there it is. It's not an official Nintendo part, but it is basically a perfect replacement part for it. And we'll have to desolder the old one and solder the new one in. Like in most of my videos, I won't be showing the actual soldering part of it. I will take before and after video and show you where you need to do the soldering work at. A couple things you'll need besides your soldering irons: some good solder, some flux, and a tri-wing screwdriver. Nintendo uses tri-wing screws on these to try and keep people out, as you can see there. I have, in a pinch, been able to use a tiny flathead screwdriver and wedge it in between the grooves there to get it open before. But we're going to be using the real deal on this. So, time for me to start my disassembly. Alright, so there's your circuit board for your Wavebird. This applies to regular GameCube controllers as well. They're the same, except they don't have all the radio equipment on board, but the joysticks and all that is the same. In a pinch, if you did want to order a new stick, you can take the C-stick and swap it. You could swap them back and forth. The C-stick joystick is exactly identical to the thumbstick. So what we have to do is, there's some clips up here, clip there, there's a clip there. And what you'll do with those clips is you'll be able to remove the analog triggers here. We'll have to get that out of the way because we need to get to these solder points. If I can better demonstrate these, I'll get the camera to focus. So we have, these are the solder junctions, and this is how it's actually mounted to the board. There's 4 of these, and then you have underneath this, I'll show you the rest of them, but there's some right there, there, and there. Those are your potentiometers. There's 3 of those, so there's 6 of them. There's 3 on each side to get those out, and then that'll take your joystick out, and then you can put your new joystick in. Highly advisable to melt new solder onto these first before you go and try and remove them. It'll just help get any corrosion out of the old solder for the original factory wave solder. And that'll get you started on that. So I'm going to go ahead and try and desolder this, and I'll be back after I desolder it. Okay, so on the Wavebird, it's a little bit more tricky to do the stick replacement. On the Wavebird, the only way you're going to get this piece off back here is to remove the battery stems, I guess you would call them. This is where your battery these go into your battery compartment for your positive and negative battery feeds. The only way to get them out, or to get this off, is to desolder them off the board. there and there. You see where the rosin is. That's where you desolder them from. I'm going to have to go back and clean that up to put them back in. But that now gives you access. That now gives you access to your solder points here. So you've got focus. So you've got your 4 mounting posts. This is basically just what holds the controller in. And then you've got your 3 potentiometer connectors. So yeah, all this has to be desoldered to get the stick out. It looks like they made this where you could either use this kind, which is the soldering kind, or there's a version that has screws. And I bet these are the screw holes for the screw versions, but since we're using the soldered version, we're just going to desolder it and solder the new one in. Alright, well, it took me about maybe a minute to get it out. This is the old wasted one, as you can see. I used a desoldering tool. They're just regular desoldering iron. A lot of times these don't work good. Sometimes on certain boards they work great. So this one worked just absolutely perfect. Just sucked them right out. Nice cleaned up holes too. And we'll drop the new stick in and solder it back in. And then we'll have a refurbished, ready to go Wavebird. Should last me several years because I don't abuse them like a lot of folks that I know who pound them into the dust playing Smash Brothers. I like Smash Brothers and I play Smash Brothers when I can, but I refuse to pound the sticks into the dirt like most players do. Anytime I'm around a Smash tournament, all I hear is the sticks snapping back to the center positions, and then they wonder why their controllers break. So let me get this back into the get this new stick put back in. Alright, so this is the old one. As you can tell, it's got a bad case of the wiggles. And this is the new one. Doesn't move at all unless you forcefully move it. No wiggle, none. Whereas the original, wiggle, 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 wiggle. So, like I said, I got this from a guy who runs a website called NES Repair Shop. It's basically the only place online that I could find one. I don't really trust eBay for parts, unfortunately. So, if you need parts, check him out. That's just a little free promotion for me. Thankfully, he has the parts to repair these with. So, we're going to go ahead and solder the new one in. Like I say, it's identical. Well, it's identical form and fit. It's not an actual Nintendo part, but it will work. Ready potentiometers. Yeah, nothing crazy. Ought to last a while, I hope. Especially if we don't beat the crap out of it. Alright, let me get to soldering this thing. Alright, there we go. All soldered in. I need to clean the flux off the board. Don't leave the flux on the board. It's not good for them. Actually, I think I see one little spot I need to tune up real quick. Focus. Let's see, one little spot right there. There. Don't need any cold joints. Not that that's an electrical joint anyway. There we go. Those 4 corners aren't electrical connections. They're simply anchors to anchor to the board. The 3 there and the 3 there, those are the actual potentiometers that actually send the signals. Fabulous. Having bad focus trouble tonight. So there's our new stick. She's in there, no play. Nice and flush. So we'll put the trigger holder back in place, and I'll have to solder the battery connectors in. Like I said, if you do this on a regular GameCube controller, you don't have to worry about soldering those in and out because they're not on a regular GameCube controller. They're only on the Wavebird. So let me get that done, and we'll get it buttoned back up, and we ought to have a good brand new working controller. Alright, we got our plastic holder in for the trigger switches. Once you put that in on a Wavebird, after this goes in, then you have to resolder your battery terminals back in. So we got that done. You can't get them out of there without desoldering them. Like I said, if you have a regular GameCube controller, you don't have to worry about it because you don't have battery terminals to desolder. So other than that, we are ready to put her together. Got our new stick in, nice and stiff. Could probably use a drop of oil in it, but I think I'm just going to leave it alone. If it gets wonky, I might oil it. So, time to send this puppy back home. Alright, all back together and ready to rock and roll for a couple of years. Nice brand new stiff stick. You got a bunch of play and stuff in it. Feels like a brand new controller out of the box. Everything's cleaned up, buttons are good and clean. Your power's on. Triggers are good and ready to go. So that concludes this video. That's how you restore your Wavebird or any GameCube controller if you've got a wasted stick. You can replace your joystick, the actual physical stick, and then you can, if your thumb part up here is still good, you can reuse it. If not, you can order a new one. So there you go. Wasted. I've seen them wasted worse than that, but that one's not Mario Kart sufficient for me, and I like Mario Kart Double Dash, and I know a lot of y'all out there probably do. So anyway, see y'all in the next video when I make one.